Last week, he tried to commit suicide.
Why?
He was in despair.
What about?
Nothing.
How do you know it was nothing?
He has plenty of money.
He'll stay all night. I'm sleepy now. I never get to bed before 3 o'clock. He should have killed himself last week.
Uno más.
Finished. No more tonight.
Uno más.
Close now.
Why didn't you let him stay and drink?
I want to go home.
What is an hour?
More to me than him.
An hour is the same.
You talk like an old man.
Because I am. One day you'll understand the importance of a place like this. Clean, well lighted. Young men come here to enjoy life. Old men come here to forget it.
You know, I've been working here for 2 months now. I see you at least once a week. But I don't know a single thing about you. I don't even know your name.
Then let's fix that. I'm Nick. I was born in the summer of 1892. The Carraways had been rooted in Chicago for generations, all leeching from the hardware chain my great uncle started when he immigrated. After I graduated from Yale, I wanted to make something of myself, do something with my life. As it happened, there was war going on in Europe.
No!
It was eye-opening. I saw death, destruction, everything. You would think that would be enough for one lifetime, but no. When I came back, there was still something missing.
So what did you do?
For a few years, nothing. I went west just to spend some time figuring out what it was I wanted to do with my life. But nothing worked. So, with the blessing of my aunts and uncles, I went east to make a living. You know, back then, everything was about money. Everyone I knew was a bondman, so I figured it could support one more. I decided to buy a small place in West Egg, near New York City. It was exactly where I needed to be for work, and it put me right next to my cousin, Daisy, and her husband, Tom. And it had been a while since we last talked.
Wait, I have to ask you something. I heard you were engaged to a girl.
Oh, sorry, that's I'm too far. That's right, we're engaged. I'm sorry, you must be mistaken.
But we heard it from 3 people, so it must be true.
I'm sorry, it's none of these. Good night.
Did you have any idea what they were talking about?
Oh, I knew exactly what they were talking about. It was one of the reasons I had come east. You see, when the war ended, the first thing I did was go west, to a different part of the country. It was there I fell in love, or at least I thought I did. We traveled here, to Spain, shortly after I proposed. That's where things unraveled.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, well, that was a long time ago. All of it was. In any case, Daisy and Tom were company enough where I lived, and they weren't the only ones. As it happened, I lived just next door to one of the richest men alive.
Sounds exciting.
Oh, you should have seen the parties. Every Saturday, people of all sorts everywhere who did just about everything arrived in numbers. The smallest was 8, the largest was 800. You never knew who you might meet.
Hi, I'm William. William Carlos Williams. Oh, that's your last name? Yes, and my first name. It's a bit of a palindrome.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, no, it's some experimental stuff. I thought we live in an age where women are freer, people are richer, and why not poetry? You know, we can take something that's not art and turn it into something that is art.
Why don't we hear some of it?
I couldn't possibly do that.
Come on, William.
William. Oh my gosh. A man standing in his own shadow sees soliloquy in strategic magnanimity for his destiny.
When Daisy, Gatsby, Tom, and I had traveled into the city, something occurred to me that from that point on, life would never be the same. I never would have imagined that actions of love would lead to such deadly outcomes. It seemed so simple in the great Gatsby's mind that he seemed to avoid how much pressure rested on the shoulders of poor old Daisy.
You loved me during our wedding.
No, I never loved you then.
How can you say that?
Frustration, confusion, and a small bit of drinking, it all took a toll on Daisy. Gatsby wanted to drive her back home, but Daisy wanted to drive herself. On the way back, Tom's mistress, Myrtle, jumped right in front of the car, and the car just tore right through her.
What happened to Gatsby?
Oh, jeez. Well, it didn't take long before Myrtle's husband, Wilson, caught sight of everything that happened. Revenge kicked in. I was at work. It was so unfortunate that he couldn't listen to me.
You ought to leave now. It's pretty certain they'll trace your car.
Oh, sport.
Gatsby!
Why, hello, old sport.
After Gatsby died, I wanted to get away from everyone. That's when I heard of the small town, Jefferson, Mississippi. When I arrived, I met a woman named Emily, who was kind enough to invite me to her home.
I really must say, Miss Emily, you have quite the fine house.
This is as fine as it gets in Jefferson. I received that as my inheritance.
So you did.
Hey,
Oh, look,
Hi.
this is Nick. He's new to town.
Hi.
And I'm
How are
sorry.
you?
Pleasure to meet you.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a stockbroker. I must say, Jefferson is quite a nice city. It's quiet, very much different from what I'm expecting, but
Yeah.
still a nice city nonetheless.
Where are you from?
I live in West Egg over in New York.
Oh, New York. Okay, so you like to take risks on the wild side?
If you'd like to put it that way.
Yeah, I like taking some risks myself. In fact, I just spent a good fortune on this watch. I was told that it's the face of things to come. A new fashion, actually. I don't know if you're into fashion much, but
I am definitely not. I can tell you that.
well, that's alright. Anyway, we should probably get going. So,
Very well then.
good to meet you.
Nice to.
So how did you two meet?
Oh, he knows the local pharmacist. He got me a good deal on my medicine.
Oh, that's nice. He must be a nice guy.
Yeah, one of his friends died.
Anyone I know?
His name was Gatsby.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. He was the rich fellow, wasn't he? Hey, Emily. Some tea. Hey, isn't it time for you to take your medicine? Toby!
Thank you, Toby.
Emily. Emily. Wake up.
Sad. She seemed like a nice woman.
She was. There's no part of me that doesn't remember that.
Okay, but still, bit of an air of mystery around her, don't you think?
That's her defining feature, and it's one that most people would just come to accept.
You think she was suicidal? She didn't seem like the suicidal type.
No one does. No one ever really understood her. Not even Toby. I guess he didn't even know what happened to Baron.
What happened to Barrett?
Him? He was found dead too. Right next to Miss Emily, actually.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. It's sad. He seemed genuinely concerned for her too. I saw it in him.
Wait, you saw it in him?
You know, I don't know what it is. attitude. There's a cloud of suspicion over her. But something is different.
Hold,
You know
hold
what I
on,
mean?
hold on. Me, a person who knows her less than anyone, you want my help when you know
Well,
her better than anyone.
Okay. I don't know if I can help her, to be honest. All right. She's very determined, and I know she wants to do something. I just don't know what. You know?
I'm sorry, dude. I really am. But any way you see it, I'm just a dude helping a druggist.
Seems like you could have let him off a little bit easier.
I did. I mostly offered suggestions after that. He left that night with a bottle in his hand and a trace of courage.
He was drinking.
Perhaps. I wouldn't know I don't know what happened to him when he died. It could have been Emily that killed him, but if it wasn't, it must have been whatever was in that bottle. Arsenic doesn't taste that good anyways.
Why would you know about it?
Because life is full of facts. You'll need 100 milligrams of it to kill you.
Did you need to know about that when you were working with the druggist?
Curiosity is a pathway to exploration.
You really are an old man.
I suppose I am.
I should go home.
Oh, come on. One more drink?
Sure, why not?
He left that night with a bottle in his hand and a trace of courage.